Hey, happy Wednesday. Here we are. Let's see if we can shed some light on this. I don't have a whole lot of light. Well, welcome to the poop show again. We have a almost brand new, even though the powder coating job that this company has done, which is branded with the Craftsman logo on it. This thing's almost brand new, and the unfortunate part is somebody accidentally left gasoline inside this for an extended period of time. I probably won't stitch the two together. Maybe I will. I just haven't decided together. I hate stitching videos together anymore, and I'm not as smart as other folks out there who can rack up millions of views and get over 100,000 subscribers, and that's because I'm not very smart. I should have stayed in school. I would have had to repay my loans. Oh, hold it. I did repay my loans. Yeah, that's right. The student loans I got, I repaid. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a concept? Too bad my other skill sets were better suited. Shouldn't say that. I mean, I am using my degree to some capacity, but I can never find. It would have been nice if they were all the same size, right? So you see me tear this style carburetor apart a lot. If you follow this channel or you've looked through my other videos, if you found anything helpful, please do subscribe, or at least hit the like button. That makes the algorithm go crazy. The algorithm likes to dance, and then other people come to me and find me and oh. So it's just so you know, again, you can probably find this video just about anywhere. That's a 5/16. I got the dropsies right now, huh? Hi-ya! We're in full effect of mow season. I don't have anything classy to say, and because I monetize these videos, I can't swear, or I at least have to watch what I'm swearing about, or saying, I guess. Believe it or not, I live in Reading, PA, which is just outside of the town of Birdsboro. And the town of Birdsboro is, I guess, where one of the guys who started YouTube, I guess his family resides there. He grew up there, whatever. Yeah, I should have caught that .com bubble when I had the opportunity to. So, again, these are fairly simple guys to work on. The most unfortunate part here, hardest part, is probably getting the tube off and not breaking any parts off this fully plastic carburetor, like the plug that just fell out of that. Yeah, I leave it with like 2 inches, if that, of but that's how you get that apart. I gotta find that little plug, and we'll get a rag. That's me huff and puff. It's because I'm fat, out of shape, and I eat too much sugar. Sugar. Why don't you have this stuff right by you? I don't know. Just find a container to kind of drain. And you know, with this one here, I could probably just drain it out. You can see, maybe not, how yellow that is. And once it gets to that point, you really cannot get that to take a chooch, because it's a different I guess density, or it turns into a different chemical inside this little unit. Probably has some water in it because the alcohol will attract water. It makes it very difficult to try to purge or start that. So you'll with almost no doubt in my mind, I guess maybe a little bit of doubt, that will not start for you unless you drain that sour gas out of there. And let me pause it because I need to find the little plug on this. Try to give you a little bit better view. We will crack this one anyway, just so that you can kind of get an idea what's inside it if you don't feel like surfing out to the other so there's 2 screws there. And you can probably, if you have a large Allen key, I might have done it once. You can pull that Allen key and drain this out, or I don't think the jet though is available. And then whatever you can use these pliers here and try to, without busting it. You don't want to bust it, so let me grab something else before I bust it. I do this in the air one-handed, right? So carefully and drain out the rest of that in there. Pry up on that. You don't want to give it too much. You don't want to damage the gasket. And I guess I can zoom out. It's not all the way zoomed in. And we're going to pop this little pickup tube out of here. Again, and you have to be careful here too, because sometimes there's a round piece inside this plastic carburetor. And probably 3D. Yeah, try not to do this. Try not to stab yourself either, or break anything else. Hard to keep it over here. No, I don't need to keep it over there. Easier to pull it into my body and get a little more leverage. So you want to poke that hole there and this hole here. We're going to poke this hole with a sandwich tie. I'm going to pause it a minute so I can grab my sandwich tie. And I can already see that this one's not clogged. Like I said, I could have probably gotten away. The plastic ones you can usually get away with dumping out, but my luck is if I didn't do this, and you can spritz it with some brake cleaner too. Try to get things out of there if there's anything in there that looks like it's sludgy. And then I don't know if I can turn the light on. Zoomed out this far, nope. So in here you have to be careful, because at the top of, and you can't see it, it's this tube. Gotta look inside it. It's the center tube. The center tube or the back tube. One of these tubes goes up into the body of the carburetor, and if you aren't careful, sometimes you can get that thing out of alignment. And same thing with these. I mean, they're plastic. It's plastic garbage, but the nice thing is they don't run out. So, and then kind of look on the bottom, wipe the bottom out, because there's some jelly balls in there from hanging out with the alcohol in the water for a long time. Mildly clean. But if you look here, this is where that Allen key is at. And 9 times out of 10, like I said, you can just tilt it, or you can pull that plug. I've never pulled it. Never pulled the plug, or if I pulled it, I pulled it once. I don't think I pulled it more than once, because there's no reason for me to, because I usually just don't tear it apart. Okay, happy, put it back together. Okay. and squeeze it back together, and then you're gonna put your little bolts back in it. Okay. Kind of try to keep track of those too, so you don't mess it up. And preferably hand start these because they are plastic. So you just kind of want to rock that back and forth and make sure it's as lined up as it's going to get. And you should be able to put that in primarily by hand. This side's a little bit harder because it's off a little bit. And that's the old impactor breaker. And now, you know, I had it in my hand. What did I do with it? Hang on. Yeah, why put that? Put it back where it belongs. So that's the little guy I was talking about. It's just a plug, but it's there for a reason. So this reverse order, I tell you to hook up the throttle lever first because it's usually the easiest to get on there. If I can get it back over there, and then make sure you put your fuel line back on, because if you don't, you'll be disappointed. And then these guys are kind of nice. Make sure that oh no, you know what? Make sure that that O-ring's down in there. Sorry if you're looking at the back of my bald head. Make sure it lines up as best as you can get it to line up. Remove that, and sits in there right. And then we're gonna, and because this is one of these guys here, you know, the old primer pump. I mean, nothing wrong with them, but I mean, honestly, it's pretty easy, self-explanatory, and not a bad setup. Straightforward, unlike me. And we'll and then make sure nothing's down underneath there. Might have to give it a hit of juice because it is a pump style guy, but let's just see. Ether. Normally you would hit the primer bulb a couple times. Boy, the kill switch doesn't work on that. The ground, it is not grounding out. Sorry. So that's a different project. No ground. Start's not the problem anymore. Like I said, this is a brand new unit, man. Brand new. Yeah, man. So, what the heck? Someone has grease back there? Huh. So there should be ground biscuits going on. Ignition coil going back here. Looks like it's, what the heck? I don't know why there's grease there. But that turn the flashlight off on that. That ground wire there seems like it's coated in grease, and it doesn't feel like dielectric grease. It feels like regular grease. And let's watch this thing off and see if that's weird. Very strange. Try not to take the whole brake assembly apart to put this on here. And I don't know what the heck, if someone's got that bent up. Very bizarre, very bizarre. I need a flashlight, I can't see that, hang on. Eee. No need for pause. So, I know you probably can't see it. Time for edits. Sorry. No foolery. So dude, is something missing from that? What the heck? Or is it painted over on the tip? This seems like it's really in there loose. Usually there's some tension in these guys, but the end is definitely painted. And I think because I would like to aim for safety, that I will probably, I almost feel like I should solder that thing down, but I think let's see if we can get away with squeezing it. Don't make them like they used to. I don't get that. There's like a plastic insulator there, but that doesn't really. Still looks like it's on top. On top, it is still on top. God dang it. Biscuits. Alright. I don't think that's off that, but there's something odd in plastic. Yeah, that's supposed to pinch that in there. But I don't think there's a very good ground either way. So, put this back on here without straightening it out. That's not just a run problem. We got the run problem taken care of. Now we got the stop problem. That's not good. So, hi. So let's test the ignition coil itself. See if the coil itself grounds out. And we can do that without burning ourselves, hopefully. Interesting. Just interesting. So the way we're going to test this is what we're gonna do, I'll touch it to the block up here and see if it grounds out up there, and hope I don't cut my fingers off. Or my toes. Definitely not worth any amount of money. Sorry to anybody out there who's missing toes or fingers. I'll find our, I believe this is an 18 millimeter. So let's start this by right, 5/16. Watch your tootsies. Can't step on the front because it's plastic. So it's just not a very good ground. So that is not very good. So let's try sand in this. Maybe that's why this thing stopped getting used and had the bad tank of gas in it. Sounds like a consumer report issue, huh? Good thing that Trump is on top of that, right? Don't talk politics. It's all about them anyway. Them being the politicians. They don't care about you and I. If they did, we wouldn't pay taxes. And I think that I hate that. In order to get to that, I pull the rest of the crap off. I was really trying to avoid that because the flywheel would technically need to come off, and if I can do this without having the flywheel come off, that would be great. There comes Sharon, so I guess I need to pause this again. Seems like a really chintzy setup though. Well, I didn't give up. Just say that. I don't have this happen very often. But maybe I did have it happen before. I mean, everything starts to blend together anymore, you know? It's almost 7:40 at night, and I usually don't like to work this late because the neighbors got babies. I don't want to make the babies angry. So, especially don't want to make the neighbors mad. Hang on here, though. Alright, I'm trying one more time. That is not good. Why is that not starting out at all? Alright, I think we got that fixed. So, I bent the lever up a little bit. I bent this tab down a little bit. Like I said, there's mechanical grease in here. I imagine from the factory or whatever. I'm not sure what the dragging mark is here. There's a dragging mark. It's kind of a little peculiar, I guess. But this needs to touch this in order for it to ground itself out. And I think we got that straightened out. So we won't start it up anymore tonight. Sorry, CB. Yeah. But if you look here, you can see now that piece is moving. We sanded the end down. That was bizarre. I'm not sure why I didn't see that right out of the gate. But after looking at the diagram, I thought maybe there was something missing because of the marks that were there. It's all grease there. And it's marine grease. Or at least it's usually what the yellow is. And I'm sure it's supposed to stop the squeaking or maybe make it last longer. I don't know, but whatever the case be, it was more problematic than anything there. I don't think that was necessarily the issue. It could have been how he unloaded it. It could have, there could have been a lot of things there. However, the good news is I got it sorted out there, and I didn't have to buy a part because I almost thought I had to buy a part. We can assemble this. And always easier to pull the bail out. I'm gonna put this in the ideal position. And we'll get a little more started. Sorry, CB. I'll zoom out. So the kill switch works again. Alright, that's good.